solution. All things will be known soon. I is excited. I is so excited. Show me, tell me. The next evening, yes, Yagumo's group couldn't secure tickets for the Rainbow Jet, so they took the fastest ferry to the mainland. They arrived at docks 7 after 5 p.m. The group then headed to the hospital and rushed to Hito's room, trying to suppress their panic. The empty bed enters their field of vision the next morning. Somebody suddenly grabs him by the collar and slams him against the wall. Okay, Kanade, that's not a pretty face anymore. You, it's you. You're the one who took Hito away again. What are you? Where's Hito? Let her go. Let Hito go this instant. Magari and Kanade rushed in to stop the man's outburst. Wait a minute. Just calm down. We came here to look for her, too. We want to know where she is, too. The one falls silent for a moment and glares at them. Eventually, he calms down and lets Yagumo go. Oh, God. Who are you, anyway? How are you related to her? I'm Hito's father. Ah. Oh. With all the anger petering out, the man introduced him feebly as Yoshifumi Amakata. Hitoa has an incurable disease, so I told her to quit show business and go back home. I've told her this time and time again. But she wanted to work her dreams to the very end. If I knew this is what would have happened, I'd have taken her back by force. An incurable disease? She never told us about all that. How dare you? Why didn't you understand? You're the one that kept taking her along and exhausting her. She doesn't have much time left to live, and because of you she came here, and now her condition's even worse. You shortened her lifespan because of you. You took her along and... Yeah. Ishimane becomes speechless and covers his face with a hand. He likely realizes how unreasonable he's being, but can't stop himself. Yagumo can understand how he feels all too well and bows his head to Yoshifumi. I'm sorry. We didn't give her the care and attention she needed, but please let us help look for her right now. Yoshifumi says nothing, simply averting his gaze from Yagumo. Yagumo watches silently as Yoshifumi walks out of the room with unsteady steps. He's likely going out to search for Hitoha again. What did he mean by she doesn't have long to live? Director? For the time being, let's not think about that. We need to focus on finding her. Yeah, you're right. What do we do now? But what do we know? You say we need to find her, but we don't even know where to look. For now, we need some clues. Let's search the hospital room and see if we can find something. The phone is there. Huh? On the bedside table, a smartphone still connected to the charger. The laptop called her since yesterday, and Yagumo and his group included. Her lock screen is covered in missed call notifications. She left her smartphone behind. No wonder she didn't pick up when we called. This means she can't ask the police to track her using GPS. Yagumo speaks while gazing at the smartphone sitting on the bedside table. Could you unlock this phone? Huh? There's probably some kind of clue on the phone, like maybe she looked up where she went. Nope, no can do. It's got a password on it. There has to be some kind of way. Try inputting in random, maybe. Do you have any idea how many combinations exist? If you could crack passwords that easily, there'd be no point in setting them in the... No, there's a way. Huh? Really, Kanade? Yeah, there's a few scenes of Hitoa unlocking her phone and all the location scouting footage we made. We can estimate her password from the way she moved her fingers. Good going! Alright, pull up the footage and let's check it out. The group finds footage of Hito handling her smartphone, tracing the movements of her finger to try and crack the password. Thankfully, they had clear footage of her doing it, so they easily cracked the password to the phone on their second attempt. Well, that was easier than I thought. If you stand near someone when they're unlocking their phone, it's easy to see how they move their finger. People are pretty careless about that. Oh, well, I'll watch for that. As the two have the exchange, Yagumo checks his phone web browser. That's why I use my finger, but clicks his tongue in disappointment. Damn it, there's nothing. The only thing in her browser history is sites about places she saw with us when we were location scouting. Looks like her emails, then. He closes the browser and opens the mail client. Yagumo moves his finger restlessly for a moment, scrolling quickly through the mail titles, but then his finger stops as a small gas escapes his lips. Ah! What's wrong? Magari peeks at the phone from him. And what she sees is, that's Yugen Sai Kumashiro. He contacted her, too. God damn it, why didn't I consider that? Yagumo searches Yugen Sai Kumashiro's name and starts opening the mails one by one. Congratulations. Mugen Commissioner. Miss Hito Amakata, congratulations! True to my predictions, your dream of getting a lead role has come true. Your disease does not mean you need to give up your aspirations. I shall give you more advice to change your fate for the better. You need only believe me in me. Let us try something. Miss Hitoha Amakata, allow me to make a prediction so your fate can change for the better once more. Take a day off from the workshop today and try to climb up Mount Takayo. The spiritual energies of that place should have good influence on you. Keep moving and exercising. From Yugensai Kumishiro. Here's my next premonition from the changing of your fate. Tomorrow, wake up early and perform radio calisthenics. The fresh morning air and some exercise should have a positive influence on staving off your illness. I will stop scrolling and check the mail's date. The mail arrived right when they were in the middle of location scouting in Suwano. So the reason she was exercising in front of the inn back then. Feeling a cold sweat slide down his back, Yagumo opens the next mail. Try challenging yourself. Miss Hitoha Amakata, here's my next premonition of the changing of your fate. Challenge yourself and try bungee jumping. The peril of putting your life at risk will rekindle your passion for life. Challenge yourself in the future will be important for you. No, this is... Hitoha said that when we were in the way to Yunotsu. She said she tried bungee jumping. Yeah, I remember. I keep reading the mail, seeing them instinct her on sorts of odd things they called her doing. And eventually... You need to discard. Miss Hitoha Amakata, a good friend of yours is in danger. My condolences. However, you must abandon that friend now. You must discard the greed to gain everything and all of your attachments. Do nothing today and watch your friend's fate to the end. Look at the date of this mail. That's the time when you ran away during the Yanatsu incident. The friend this mail is referring to is me. It's telling her to abandon me. But Hitoha was going to split up from us and go back to Tokyo, but she came back as soon as we were proven innocent. And she helped me save you, too. So that's what happened. She ignored this evidence for my sake. And the question was that what kind of calamity that brought down on her. Feeling as if something like black smoke was billowing up from the pit of his stomach, Yagumo read the next mail. You ignore my prediction. Miss Hitoha Amakata, you ignore my warnings. That is quite regrettable. I have tried to protect you, but maintaining your health any further is becoming difficult. Misfortune will likely befall those close to you soon. I can no longer completely prevent this, but I will act to keep this misfortune to come as light as possible. This is... Does he mean her father's injured arm? That dirty scheming. He drove her into a corner deftly, like coiling her up in a spider's web. Yagumo was filled with overwhelming anger at the center of the email. I get it. I know this bastard. I know how this bastard operates now. He manipulates people with a mix of anchoring and foot-in-the-door tactics. He gives people instructions through social networks and emails, using persuasion and intimidation to force them to do what he says. At first, he starts with simple instructions to lull his victims into a sense of safety, but his orders become more demanding, and in the end, he tells people to commit suicide. What? What? No! Nobody would go that far just to because someone online told them to. No, they would. Cases like this have happened in Russia and from there on around the world. So that means Hitoha is... The shaky pains, Yagumo scrolls down to the last mail. Yagumo opens the mail to see. I applaud your resolve. I applaud your resolve from... Yeah. Oh dear. It pleasures me to see you abide by my prediction in the very end. The proof that you have lived will remain for all eternity. Tomorrow night I will wait you at the entrance to the underworld. Director, Hitoha... Hitoha's going to... Damn it, what does entrance to the underworld mean? We can't tell where she is with this. Forget it. Let's split up and look for her. Yes. I'll use the company's van. Magari, use your car to take Kanade and let the police know about this. Roger. It's already late enough to be considered nighttime. Ignoring the nurse's shouts, Yagumo and his group run out of the hospital. Yagumo rushes to the ryokan and calls out to the woman at the front. Does Monami Hashima still have a room here? Yes, she still has a room here since she said she'd be staying for a long time. Is she back? Could you call her, please, quickly? No, she was back last night, but went out this evening. Do you know where she went? Please tell me. No, I didn't ask her about this, except she didn't She did ask for a rental car to be arranged, so I believe she's likely far away from here right now. A rental car? Hitoha is probably with Monami. Where did they go? Yagumo briefly thanks the woman at the front desk and rushes out of the entrance. Still polite, even in a moment of panic. Thank your sources. Shimada Castle was closed at night, so he could only look from outside the inner cathedral. Yagumo runs a lap around the outer wall, but doesn't find any sign of Hitoha. She isn't here. As the sun sets over Yamatsu Harasaka, there's no one around. A complete silence envelops the place. The silence is broken by the sound of an automobile braking and the car door being opened and closed, followed by Yagumo's voice. Hitoha! If you're here, say something, Hitoha! He goes up the hill to where the Chibiki stone is, but finds no trace of Hitoha. The mail mentioned the entrance to the underworld. I'm sure it meant this place. Hitoha! Shit, this isn't the place? Yagumo looks around the stubbornly for a while longer, but eventually gives up and goes back to his van. Hitoha, damn it, where did you go? He had no idea where to look next. Yagumo was racking his brain in an attempt to come up with a place that might be it. The mail mentioned the entrance to the underworld, but it wasn't Yamatsu Hirasaka. Then where else could it be? Having realized that much, realization suddenly flashed through his mind. Right, Shimada has another hole to the other world. Inome Cave. The Izumo Fudoku calls it the hole to the underworld. That's the place. No sooner than he realizes Yagumo. The tire screeches, the van turns around and heads south down 431 route. From 431 route, he turns to the 250 route and then drives along the coastline of the rustic National Highway of Route 23. It's like they're telling me how to get there in real life. He then arrives to the spot where there are a few civilian houses and only a few traffic signs, Inome Cave. He pulls over across from the road and goes down a trail only those familiar with the area know. He then reaches what looks like a ship graveyard, and there he finds... You've come, Yagumo. Monami. A folding chair is set facing the sea, where Monami sits with the sea breeze blowing through her hair. Monami, what did you do with Hitoha? As Emma draws on in her mind, Monami lifts an index finger to her lips in silencing, gesturing and cracks a thin smile. Shouting like that would be an insult to the beautiful moonlit night. I'm sure you have a lot to ask me, so let's take our time and talk. There's only one thing I want to know. Where's Hitoha? My, what makes you think I know where she is? Don't play coy with me. I know everything already. You're Yugensai Kumashiro, aren't you? Yugensai Kumashiro? Huh? A detective told me about him. He murders people by sending them mails and manipulating them, right? Wasn't that him, Director Ibuse? That's why he committed suicide, poisoned himself. No, Director Ibuse died because someone replaced the capsules he drinks with poisoned ones. That wasn't suicide, it was murder. What makes you say that? The expression Director Ibuse made when he started coughing up blood, there was a hint of surprise in his eyes. He wouldn't have made that expression if he'd been poisoned himself. You're perceptive. But the emotion and facial expressions that he made are just your subjective opinion. This isn't enough to decisively conclude it was murder, is it? No, there's something else about the way he acted that made me conclude it was murder, and that's... Director Ibuse, when it happened, he had his eyes fixed on a certain point and said, I see. He looked surprised when he started coughing up blood, and then he said, I see, when he realized something. That doesn't seem natural for suicide. Yes, it doesn't, but what does it all mean? He probably saw the person who set him up and poisoned him at the spot he was looking at, and the moment he saw that person, he understood everything and accepted his fate. But the police say that except for you. No one else was there. In other words, wherever he was looking at was one of your group. No, that's not right because... No, at the time he wasn't looking at us. My, that's odd. Who else could he have looked at when it was only you and him at the house? He wasn't looking directly at the person, he was looking at the mirror inside the house, and when he looked in the mirror from this position, he had a view of the garden. He was looking at the garden through the mirror's reflection, where he saw someone hiding there. In other words, he was looking at you, Monami. And me, I took a ferry to Ishida Port and got off at Nakanoshima. How would I have gotten to the villa of Nishinoshima from there? Well... It's quite simple. Use a domestic vessel. The Oki Islanders steamboat ferry was already closed for the day, but you could take a domestic vessel back to Beppu Port. I took the Isokaze captain, and he remembers you boarding this ferry on that day. If it weren't the one to switch in the poison capsule, why did you hide it and act as if you were only arriving the island another day? The two glared at each other for a short while, but then... Huh. Mommy starts laughing, chuckling like a child that lost a glaring contest. Monami, what's so funny about this? I mean, you always act the way I want you to. What? All of your answers are correct, a perfect A+. Really, you always score top marks. That's true for Tsuano and for Yonotsu. What do you mean by that? You know, Yagumo, the simpler a murder is, the harder it is to solve. The most important part is getting rid of the corpses. Nowadays in Japan, a case is hardly over considered an incident if they can't find a body. History films and novels make it seem like you need overblown tricks to do it, but the truth is, not using tricks makes a case harder to crack. In which case, why? Why did Sakio Ito and Yuko Tomita go to the trouble of setting up such elaborate tricks? Wait, are you saying it was you? It was! I just gave them a bit of advice. Oh, but don't misunderstand, they wanted to murder someone to begin with. I just gave them a little push. So you gave them evidence of Yugensai Kumashiro. But why do that? Well, I had multiple reasons, but the biggest one was you. Me? Me? Yes, so you could film it and solve those tricks by viewing the footage. I set up those juicy incidents also you could do that. Why? Why do that? Monami doesn't answer his question, simply gazing into the sea. Eventually she turns back to look at him with a smile that's far too gentle considering what she just confessed. You see, Yagumo, people have a fascination with seeing the deaths of others. That's something my little sister's death taught me. Your little sister's death? Yes, my younger twin sister. Ever since I was little, we would communicate perfectly. Telepathy. A twin's resonance, perhaps. Even when we were apart, we could share and feel how others' feelings. The case of Sakio and Saya Ito crossed Yagumo's mind. They probably had something like that resonance Monami had with her younger sister. And when she was a student, she committed suicide by jumping. I could feel her emotions the day leading up to it. It left me depressed. Oh, so the sister's the one who jumped the building in the beginning. But the true stabbing sorrow only came rushing in just before she breathed her last. She jumped down from an apartment building roof, crashed onto the concrete, and in that despair, while the flame of her life was flickering out, none of the people around her tried to save her. They simply turned their cameras at her. Her sorrow at the time must have been intense. I was on my way back from school, and I didn't just feel her emotions, I saw what she saw. I was in so much pain, but all they did was stand back and snap photos. They only saw her death as a spectacle. That's so. And at that moment, I realized deep down in their subconscious, people constantly long to see other people's deaths. No, not everyone's like that. I wonder about that. When you looked at those instant footage, didn't you feel drawn to them? What? As you were watching them for just cause of solving the case, deep down you actually enjoyed watching those deaths, didn't you? I didn't. You don't need to be ashamed of it. It's human nature. Maybe it's curiosity, or maybe it stems from the dread of one's potential death. You see, everyday life throws a many-sided set of dice. Your dice sides decrease as you get older, and each side's chances of landing increase. And in the end, your death falls on the side. Your dice falls on the side of death. It's a fair, impartial system, and everyone lives their days aware of it to some extent. And so, when they see someone else die, people become relieved. My dice didn't land on the side of death today. And that's what you were trying to tell me with this? You drove my sister to suicide and filmed her death, all because you wanted to teach me this? That makes you exactly the same as the people who sat by as your sister died. No, you're wrong. How am I I don't seek entertainment that relishes in death. I want art that challenges people, shakes them to their core, to their very subconscious. And so I wouldn't film just anyone's death. It wouldn't form the contrast composite of fine art if it isn't the life of someone who lived brilliantly. And that's why you picked my sister? Your sister didn't wish to remain a nameless actress. She aimed for stardom without resorting to lowly tactics like lustful swimsuit shoots or lowly films meant to entice the masses. And so she accepted my offer on her own will. That's sophistry? Sophistry? That's right, you preyed on her weak heart. My sister was... My sister was stricken with an incurable disease. I can't imagine how anxious and afraid she was, and you took advantage of that weakness. And even so, that doesn't change the fact she did it of her own will. The fact remains that she wanted to remain on film. She was going to die either way, so rather than die weak and emaciated, she wished to live her life, last as an actress, leave her mark on the world. And so I turned the brilliance of her life and the moment her life turned to death into art by burning it onto film. You're wrong. Huh? You're wrong! You drove her to death. You made her think that way. I know your methods by now. You manipulate her the same way you toyed with Hitoa. You start with simple instructions to make people obedient and act as if the prediction the result to make them form a positive bias of you. And if they didn't obey, you sometimes persuade them or intimidate them other times. That's how you corner people before they realize it's too late. And yes, you cornered my sister by threatening her. You told her harm would come to those around her if she doesn't cooperate. Huh. What in the world are you talking about? I mean... the accident that hurt Manabe's actress. A lighting stand hit her, inflicting burns that ended her acting career. You did that to corner my sister. You did the same to Hitoa by injuring her dad. You put her under the impression that disobeying you meant those close to her would be hurt. The brilliance of their life, you coerced people into obeying you, and you call it art? Nope, nope. Nope, don't do that. Nope, don't do that. Don't do that. Nope. None of the button pushing I don't want to push. I see. What you say isn't wrong. At least what you say on the surface. On the surface? You looked at the footage from Suwano and Yansutsu, the incidents you encountered, all to stimulate your creativity, haven't you? That's not... I didn't. You might say that. Ibuse was like that at first, too. But once he started gathering films of death like I told him, his writing style changed for the better. He became capable of cutting into the profound depths of what makes one human, and express it on the screen without relying on exaggerated acting. And what was the result of that? He gained fame and acclaim, elevating him to his current status. That's all the proof you need. If that's true, why did you do that to him? True art, true artistic pursuit requires vast amounts of passion, and he was tired. His passion was petering out over the last few years. So I simply had him play out his final task, to serve as an exquisite piece of reference material. Yes, to create a proper successor. I wanted to give him a final chance to touch on real death, but I didn't have such a moment of true death. And so I had him act that moment out. In other words, to make you his successor. Me. And you created all those incidents so far, for what? Oh, raw voice, for what? Yes, and tonight I will use the perfect reference material to make you into his successor. See, the director's already called action. Huh? Manabe points at the shore. Yagumo follows her finger to find. Hitoa! Standing in the water surface, it looks like undulating, molten darkness, is Hitoa. She stands up to her knees in the water with her back turned to him. Hitoa! Perhaps she can't hear Yagumo's voice, because Hitoa takes one slow step into the water, then another, as the water gradually swallows her up. Hitoa, what did you... Run and get her. Well, do you like the sight? Huh? Fantastical, beautiful, the very image of profound elegance, isn't it? This is true art, and kind of that mystifies the heart of man. Now choose, Yagumo. Will you become a Buse's successor, a true artist, or end as an average run-of-the-mill director? Am I choosing? Because he better choose the right one. Stop shitting with me. Huh? I am Yagumo, Rintaro Yagumo. No, Yagumo Max, a filmmaker. I'm not the kind of pathetic director that needs to rely on other people's deaths to make art. You're throwing this chance away? I'll get as many chances as I need in the future. Just bite your fingers and watch me do it from your prison cell. Oh, oh no, he's better go save her, bitch. Roaring from the depth of his lungs, Yagumo unflinching takes off, plunging into the dark sea. He parts the waves with both hands, spraying water all around him as he swims towards Hitoha. Good. Save her. Hitoha, come back! Hitoha! Can you hear me, Hitoha? Stay back! Huh? Please stay back. What are you saying? Get back here. Come on, give me your hand. Please, just leave me alone. Huh? I don't have long to live either way, so at least let my final moment be. What would filming that achieve? There's no value in that. Don't let Monami fool you with her sophistry. I don't care if it's sophistry. What? If that way, I can leave my image in this world. Someone could see it and know I existed. In that case, I'll film you. What? I'll film you when you're the most radiant, but it'll be the way you live, the way you struggle to live despite your illness to the very end. So please, don't throw your own life away. With that scream, Yagumo catches up to Hitoha at once and holds her in his embrace. Hitoha! Director! At that moment, a large wave washes over them. Blah. A big blah. Shit. His wet clothes and the weight of the two people weighing him down, rendering him unable to stand as the waves crash over him. Hey, Harley. This is bad. But that moment, just as despair was creeping into Yagumo's heart. Hitoha! Yagumo! A hand grabbed Yagumo by the collar, yanking him back to the shore. Who the fuck is that? Hitoha! Kashino. Stay with me, Yagumo. You hold on too. Kashino? With Kashino's help, the two of them are dragged back to the shore little by little. Who's Kashino again? Oh, Kashino. Yeah, the guy, yeah. I didn't recognize him without his coat. At some point, several patrol cars pulled over the side of the road, and Misawa stood in front of Monami. Monami Hashina, an arrest warrant has been issued against you. You're charged with instigation of murder, at least at present. Could I ask you to cooperate and come along quietly? Yes, understood. Monami finally rose to the shore and turned to look at Yagumo, who gazed at her while dripping with water. Really, this isn't to my taste, but maybe this kind of ending works too. She stood up with a faint smile on her lips. All right, 2117 hours, suspect apprehended. And Misawa's voice offers Russ to take Monami away. Director Hitoha! Behind them, Yagumo can see Magari and Kanade approach him with a smile. Just because there tends to be copyrighted music in there, I'm just going to take that up. Even though I do usually like to watch endings. Was that it? Can I continue? Was there not an epilogue? Nope. Just this again. Because maybe I need to watch the, How do I skip all? No? Try to figure it out. Oh, no. I want to skip all. Here we go. We're going to see if there is... I guess we're going to watch the credits because I want to know if there's something at the end. Okay. So I guess we'll see what this says. No epilogue, duh? I want to know if there's an epilogue after this. Oh, cute. Okay, so it's kind of giving us a story at least. I am fascinated. So obviously they're doing filming still, even though she's getting probably weaker. The butler's the butler's hair. Back at the hospital. Oh, look at the guy's crying. Oh. Did she die? Oh, she died. He's still message to heaven. It's sad. It's a sad ending. I don't like. When did I get this in my lap? Now it's back to root letter again. What happened? That was sad. That was a sad ending. I'm not happy. Sad. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, there's a bonus. What's the bonus? What's the bonus? What is our bonus? Oh wait, no. No. Wait. Oh, fucking, I don't know. It's just, okay. It's just, I'm just being weird. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna call it good then, because it looks like just a quiz show. But, okay. And we missed half of it already, so. Oh, they did assume a wrestle fight, did they? Or something? I don't know. Okay, I don't know what that was, but whatever. All right, well, we're finally done. Woo! Now I liked it. It was much better than it was with Root Letter. This one I liked better. Looks like it probably only has the one ending, but unlike the other one that had multiple. But yeah, so I like this. It was good, but I'm happy it's over because I'm tired of reading a bunch of shit, and I really want to play Layers of Fear 2 because I want to scream. Right? I want to scream and piss you off? Is that what I want? Come over. Come over. Come here. Oh, yes. Here's my puppies. There's my puppies. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Who's my good? Oh, there's hair in your face. Oh, no. Give me kisses. Mwah. Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. See ya.